Okay, and we gotta do these so she can see those. Okay.
Howdy.
Hello.
So, my name is Karan Garvin, and according to the CDC, 1 in 5,000 children that are born are affected by hemophilia. Hemophilia is a blood disorder that prevents the clotting. When you are cut, bumped, bruised, it can be something as simple as running into the corner of a chair and getting your toe good enough, and then your toe will be this big because you bleed it internally and you cannot stop. So a bruise for us would end up being a bleed for somebody that is affected by hemophilia. On a yearly basis, about 400 children are born with hemophilia. They have hemophilia A, which is a factor VIII deficiency. And then there's hemophilia B, which is a factor IX deficiency. It can be life-threatening if not taken care of properly and treated with anti-hemophiliac factor. In most cases, it is intravenously. In some cases, when the factor levels are not severe, because it goes from mild, moderate to severe. When they are not severe, they can be taken via pills or a nasal spray that helps to get into the bloodstream and re-up the factor content. And the reason that I chose this for my informative speech is because both my father suffered from hemophilia. He lost the battle because he developed hepatitis that led to liver cancer through a bad transfusion. And my husband is a factor VIII deficient hemophiliac, and he takes his factor anywhere from 3 times a week to daily. And as long as he has his factor in him, he clots just as good as you or me. So in this speech, I'm going to go through the steps and processes of what it is for him to be able to take his medication on a daily, weekly basis. So we are going to go over here. And this cues my husband, Jay, who's going to help us in a visual aid and show us what it is that he does step by step to take his medication to help him be able to clot so that he doesn't get an internal bleed that could put him in the hospital, could cause amputation, and other such forms. So first what we are going to do is we're going to gather our supplies. This is Advate. This is his anti-hemophiliac factor that he uses. And if you open up the box, you can see in there that it comes with a vial of sterile solution, a vial of powdered form of the anti-hemophiliac factor that needs to be reconstituted, and a needle-less transfer device. This device is what transfers the solution into the powder to reactivate it. And then it has a small switch on the side that helps to transfer it into your syringe for later injection. So first, the other objects that we need would be a Band-Aid, his needle, a syringe, some gauze, and an alcohol swab. These are also used to help with the injection process of the medications. So firstly, we are going to mix up the medication. He removes the caps and discards of them wherever it can be. Secondly, he'll take an alcohol swab and sterilize both tops just to make sure. You always want to make sure in the situation that everything is sterile. Then he'll open his needle-less transfer device. And the best way to remember how to do this, if ever in a situation, is that the clear top goes on the water side, and the white top will go into the powder, and it just transfers very easily. Then once that is complete, shake it just a little bit to reconstitute all of the powder and make sure that there are no bubbles inside. Once that is complete, you'll take your syringe and attach to the side. You open that up, and then you're able to pull through the fluid. Now this is the reconstituted version of his anti-hemophiliac factor. Once that's complete, make sure that there's no air in the tubing, and go ahead and grab the needle and attach to the end of the syringe. Now he is pushing all of the medication through so that he removes any air. Next is the tourniquet. He'll add the tourniquet to cut off the blood veins so that he can get a good presentation of veins to be able to inject. And again, cleans. Apparently they're not wanting to show. Next, he sterilizes the area in which he's going to inject. He finds a vein and follows the vein. Injecting the medication, he pulls it back just a little bit to make sure. Once the blood shows, you have hit the proper vein. That was the process in order to inject your medication if you were a hemophiliac. In conclusion, while this process can be a little short or long depending on how much you need to take, bleeds may vary, and when they vary, it can depend on how much medication you would need to take. A sprained ankle can range anywhere from 1,000 IUs every 24 hours to 10,000 IUs every 24 hours for a major surgery. This medication, Advate, has helped to save many lives as it is an alternative to a plasma or a blood transfusion. It helps to assist in raising the clotting factor back up to a normal level, and by doing this, he clots just as well as you or me. If he did not have this medication, he would not be able to clot, and with the amount of scars and scrapes that children, adults, anybody ever gets, car accidents, breaking limbs, they could become potentially fatal. According to Baxter, the manufacturer anti-hemophiliac factor helps to control and prevent the bleeding episodes as long as taken in conjunction with a bleed or prophylactically.